Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. I have Langers here with me, my
Hello.
opponent in SuperCoach draft this weekend. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me. And
this will be the last couple of days where we are mates. And
yes.
then we are no longer friends for 3 days.
Yeah.
And then we'll just, it's going to be interesting though, mate.
Absolutely.
I've mentioned it a couple of times on the live session, other things, because my classic probably hasn't gone as good as I might have hoped.
Yeah, we know that. We know that. Yeah.
But draft is going to be interesting. How are you feeling?
Yeah, nervous, to be honest. It's similar to how our Olympic athletes are performing in the swimming. I've come home strong in the last 50 meters, and I drafted terribly. I drafted really poorly, and the last 10 weeks, I've somehow made it into the four. Finished fourth, and then knocked off Ned, knocked off third, and then knocked off Ned. So, and then just me versus you in the grand final. It's going to be huge.
And let's face it, the cards went well for you against Ned. He did lose Penderbury, he did lose Keith, but you still got him done by a comfortable margin. You could argue you still would have won if they played and scored.
I think I did the maths. He also had Bailey Smith on the bench for a 141, which was the highest score in his team, which was insane.
Who could have he played? Oh, I guess
he had Bailey Smith. And then he had Ed Langdon, which was his lowest scoring mid. So that would have been almost a 100-point play, and I still should have beat him. But then the Keith injury, obviously.
But that happens.
It does happen, you know. And another Ned shot. In the last home and away round of draft as well, I played him. He had Dangerfield back for that 180. And then he was actually on the bench in Ned's team.
Oh my God.
And then Parrish was dominating as well. And I think the next week as well, he had Jamie Cripps on the bench for a 150.
I believe he was like, I changed it on the app. This goddamn app.
Yeah, he was blaming the technology, which is always good. But if we're talking about the season as a whole, I drafted terribly. I had the number 2 pick, and I picked Brodie Grundy with my first pick. And last year there was controversy because I'd left my auto pick on and selected Gawn with my first pick, if you remember. And that wasn't my strategy. The last 2 years, I've wanted to select Marcus Bontempelli with my first pick. And this year, I panicked under pressure and I picked Brodie Grundy. And
worked out okay.
Well, it did work out okay, but I would have backed myself in my research that I've done to just pick. I probably would have picked Tom Hickey as my ruck.
That's interesting.
And I would have backed myself.
Or go for it. Bring in Hickey this week, mate.
Or Sean Darcy, to be honest. I wanted to get Bont with that first pick. And it ended up being my first midfielder pick was Lockie Hunter. Which is not good.
Had a good week last week, but
he hasn't been great. I think my third pick was Jared Lyons, who ended up as being my number 1 mid. But I drafted poorly, but I've traded in really well, which we'll talk about. But how do you think your season's gone so far?
Well, I can't remember what draft pick I had, but I recall drafting fairly solidly. I mean, I've been in the top 4 for most of the year, and probably me and Ned sort of made a little bit of distance away at times. And then you've shot right up. Chuka's probably dipped back down. There was crazy controversy with 4th place.
There was, Chook was sitting 4th all year, and Liam the first year in the league, and just comes through. And
by what point? 0.1?
Point
was
something.
It something that was crazy he got through. But now, look, let me just get the team out.
Please feel free. We're going to do some comparisons soon anyway.
I think Sam Walsh has been one of my best picks.
Yeah.
Because when I picked him, I just thought he'll be solid, but I didn't think he'd be my number 1 guy.
He's going to be right up there in the Brownlow.
Yeah. Jordan Dawson's probably been one of my best picks.
Yeah, well, maybe go through, line by line and just say who maybe is the best pick from each line, and maybe the best performing pick, and maybe the best value pick as well.
Yeah, Isaac Cumming, I got late.
Yeah,
and
it's always good to come in late.
At times, he's had me doing likewise with some beautiful scores. The forward line's been a bit all over the place, but probably Nick Hind has been pretty consistent. I need a lift from him.
And you did take him off me as well before me. I remember that. But I also
a bit of history in that. So they're probably a few of my main picks from draft wise. Free agency. The forward line's had a makeover.
Yeah,
it's had a Beauty and the Geek style makeover. I brought in DeGoey. I brought in just this week Harry Schomburg and Chad Wingard. They're in for the grand final.
Wow. Okay.
Coming grand final week and deliver for me.
Yep. Well, that's interesting. So I think my 3rd or 4th pick was Callum Mills, who's been clearly the best defender all year, which has been fantastic. Picked up Aliir, who was really strong in the first half of the season and has dropped off, but I've got rid of him. And I did pick Lockie Whitfield strategically late. And his inclusion into the season and into my team from my bench has has made me go back up.
True.
In the midfield, I ended up picking Dyson Heppel, Callan Ward, Elliot Yeo from the free agency. So they've been pivotal. Luke Dunstan as well. So that's pretty much my whole midfield. Tom Green, I stole off you, famously.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been.
No, but he could come good at the right time.
Scored 120 last
That was big. You make your name in the prelims, and he came big.
Yeah, my forward line was a schmozzle. I picked my first pick in the forward line was Dixon, and I was like, oh, this is going to be shocking. I can't believe he's been killing it. I think he's had 5 tons from the last 6 games, so he's been going really well.
Jordan Roughhead to just go.
Yeah, Bailey Dale picked him up in the free agents. Now this one, I was really happy with this pick. Last week, I needed a forward to just score me big, and I had to pick someone from nowhere. Daniel Rioli, playing with the halfback line for the Tigers, comes in for 111. And this week in the forward line, I've brought in Josh Shackey, which I hope will do something similar playing in the back line. So in this week, Shackey and Zach Jones for me.
Yeah, and I mentioned those 2 guys that I brought in. Going out of my side was Tom Lynch for the Crows.
Yep, he's been good.
And who else did I ditch?
Dusty.
Oh, of course, Dustin Martin.
Impey you lost as well.
Jarman Impey I lost. Rowan Marshall coming back was crucial for me.
Yeah, well, if you could have another week of ISO, that would be great.
But do you have any decision dilemmas? Because I've got plenty, mate.
Yeah.
I've got plenty coming to grand final week. Most of the time, you just look at draft and you go, yep, fine. But I'm over-analysing it like a psycho at the moment.
It's hard. My midfield... Zach Jones is on my bench currently.
Yeah.
And should I put him? He's in awesome form. He scored 140 last week. Any one of Hunter, Green, even Cal Ward can go, below 60. Ward got dropped last week. He wasn't in the team. He's only in for Canelio. So
I wonder where Cogs is at, whether he comes back or whether he exists.
I think he had a toe injury, so it was Stephen Tonelio. Canelio toe. I don't know. If we go to the head-to-head, we'll just have a quick look on the old telephone.
Oh yes,
some of the matchups are interesting. So currently the projections.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at this.
Projections. So I'm projected for 1684.
Yeah.
You're projected for 1794.
Oh.
So you're projected.
If the projections come through, I'll be happy.
You're projected big, but Ned was projected big against me. So
my thoughts on projected scores. We may as well be there guessing.
Yeah. So I think Selwood. I don't know if he's going to pull up. I lost Taron Thomas, which was that's huge.
That's big.
That's an ouchie because he was scoring like 120s. And that was a shrewd pickup of mine as well.
Shrewd.
During the year. But I mean, your midfield, like Mitchell, Walsh, they can go huge. Jordan Dawson's been incredible in the back line. Blake Hardwick as well. Yeah. You've certainly got some weapons. I mean, Walsh is the bit, when I look at your team, Walsh, Oliver, they can all go 150 plus. I don't really have a lot of
mate Jai Simpkin.
Oh boy! The week you got rid of him in Classic, he's
gone pretty
170 or something. I don't really have a lot of players that can go 150 plus. Maybe Grundy, and that's about it.
What's super interesting is our ruckman and Nick Nat and Brody. Grundy, and they happen to take on each other this week.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's good or if it's bad.
It could be a decisive contest.
Yeah, I prefer them being 1-on-1 in a way because I feel like it would be unlikely that Grundy can go 150, but he could.
He's been poor the last couple of weeks, Grundy. So
I know, which in a way it makes me feel like he's
going to bounce back for
Grundy. He doesn't have 3 80s in a row.
No, he doesn't.
Like last week, I had the week off winning the first final, and I'm thinking, just get through bruise free.
What did you score? What, 1400?
I had a stinker. I did have a 0 because I brought in Jeremy Howe, so he didn't play. But look,
strategic that he'll be back this week.
Well, that's it. But here's my dilemma, Jack. Down back, I also have on the bench Luke McDonald and Nick Haynes, who Haynes hasn't been as good, so I'm comfortable to drop him down. But Howe, he's missed that many weeks. I think I'm going to back him in. But, he hasn't played much, and I'm not looking for advice because I know you want him to score 12 and come up a quarter time. But, and even in the midfield, I've got Joel Selwood and Taylor Adams. Little injury concerns. It sounds like Selwood's racing the clock.
Yep.
I might be calling on Adam Chera.
Yeah, well, he's been...
Which I don't mind that Fife missing now in a way because Chera...
The interesting thing is, though, and it hurt me to do it, but I had to trade Taron Thomas out, but there's no next week. There's no tomorrow.
There's no tomorrow, mate.
What I'm actually intending to utilise, and this might be...
No, tactics is fine.
The tactical loophole.
Whoa.
which is difficult in draft because you can
Yeah.
stuff yourself up. But let's say Josh Shackey, plays earlier in the week, scores well, out someone else, and then lock that score in. Maybe have someone else on the field. Josh Shackey scores well on the bench, and then I might,
if you're out there, let me know your thoughts.
I might have to trade out like a Jamie Elliott if Josh Shackey scores well early in the week.
So, are you potentially trying to loophole?
Potentially, but I
didn't know. I didn't know we were bringing a knife to a gunfight or a gun to a knife fight. Jesus Christ!
If I trade out Jamie Elliott,
yeah,
I don't have any other mid cover, so it's risky.
It's risky. Yeah, it's risky. I mean, I'll leave that up to you.
This is what has to be done to get the win.
Personally, I'm just going to leave my team that I pick.
Well,
and I'm just going to back them in.
Okay, well that's fine. But
it's up to you. Yep. So you're thinking of a little bench action in a guy that's playing earlier in the week and maybe trading in a zero.
Yep. Yeah.
Is this ethical? I don't know.
If it's there to be done, I know.
Didn't we ban VC loopholes?
We banned captain loopholes. We
don't have a captain, so
we didn't say anything about.
Wow,
Watson's trying to destroy the fabric of the game by getting rid of the captain.
I didn't expect this. I don't know.
No, I actually do like the non-captain decision because it does bring everyone down to a level playing field, and you rely on that tactical knowledge, and this is my tactical knowledge coming to the fore. I'm going to have to throw everything at you to beat you, Daniel.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess I could do that if I wanted to. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything.
You don't have to rely on that.
I'm not going to do anything different to what I've done because I feel like it's worked. But even Matthew Kennedy on the bench for me, he's been good for me at times. When Mackay's not there, he sometimes plays a bit forward. I'll ponder the teams on that. I'll see if Joel Selwood comes up. But yeah,
it's really the draft. The secret of draft is not about the superstars that you pick because they always perform well. It's about when the superstars stink it up and injuries. Yeah. It only takes one injury to pretty much derail any chance of winning.
And I think what'll be telling is, you mentioned before, if Walsh, Oliver or Mitchell, if any of them go massive, that's probably advantage short. But otherwise, it's 1 week. Anything can happen. You've had a good probably 6 to 8 weeks. And I was looking back. There's weeks where if we had played, you would have won. And there's weeks where I would have won. It just
am I the Bulldogs of 2016 powering through? Or am I the Giants of 2019 and just get to the grand final and die?
And if I'm honest, it means a lot. Yeah. It means a lot. We are great mates. One of my best friends.
Yeah,
but I really want to beat you.
I was telling Em during the week, my partner, that I was like, we've got our SuperCoach draft final this week. She's like, is that football? I was like, yeah, Em, it's more than football. It's fantasy.
It does.
So is it like a game? No, it's more than a game. This is Shorty's competition. He hasn't won it before.
Hey, what easy, soldier. I won it in 2017. My name's on the trophy.
Whoa. It's been a long time since you've won it. and you want that trophy. You've been usurped in recent years.
Lost in the grand final last year.
That was dogmatic.
By a lippy lawyer.
And you want redemption.
I do want redemption.
We want redemption.
And like you said off the top, the nerves, that's not for show. I'm genuinely nervous because there are bragging rights for another 12 months. I was nervous
last week. I was messaging you. I was like, I reckon I've got Ned. And then someone went huge for Ned. And I was like, the projected scores are back in Ned's favour.
I didn't really know who I wanted to win because on one hand, Ned's had a better season. You've had a better short term. Ned had some injury.
Ned's 100% doesn't really matter. Got a better team. Dangerfield, Parrish, Bontempelli.
Parrish
got tagged for 49.
That's the stuff that makes you hate a bloke for the rest of your life. Last year's grand final against Ronan, Tom Liberatore scored 192. I hate him for the rest of his life. I'll never forgive him for that. Shout out to you, Tommy. Go get stuck.
Ned's got liver too, and liver.
Does he? Oh, that could have been PTSD.
Harms was tagging liver last week.
Oh, right.
And did well, but I think he's got McRae as well. Does Ned, or is that
and Bond?
Yeah,
you're right. Bond.
Yeah.
Bond Smith.
Yeah. Makes me nervous.
Genuinely, good luck. But I also say that a bit like a tennis player says sorry when you get the net cord. You're also a little bit selfish. Hopefully it's a good clash.
Yes.
Either way, look, last year I was little bit salty in the grand final loss. At least I'll respect my opponent this time around if I lose.
It depends on depends on the trash talk, though.
Yeah, true. You just come up sipping a cup of tea.
Are you going to talk trash if you win? Or?
I'm not really a trash talker, unless it's dished at me. But you can feel free to trash me. I will be muting.
How much you're gonna?
I will mute you, and I'll mute. With all due respect, you'll be muted from Friday onwards, and so will the group.
Okay.
And I'm working most weekend, and I will remove myself from all progressive scores.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. I'm a big score watcher. During the game and quarter times, etc. I'm not going to look at scores.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to look at scores this week because I'll have an anxious fit.
I will look on Sunday. I would imagine.
I don't want to look until
fair enough.
Until
and
Sunday
I mean Sunday
night.
Morning.
Oh,
I mean, you know what I mean. Get a gauge for where we're at.
Yeah, I don't want to know until I open it up and I see that either I've won or I've lost.
Really, I just couldn't do that.
Well, I've done it every game this year, and it's been pretty full on. So I'm not going to look. I won't. I maybe should mute everyone.
The group's definitely muted.
Okay.
I'll probably mute a couple of mates that sometimes message me.
I'll send like
respectfully
a pigeon to your house.
Just a brick comes through my window. It's
we should if we can.
Yeah.
Simultaneously view the results at the same time.
We might cross that bridge.
Either via Zoom or
I don't think I will be able to stop myself from looking at some point. Okay. I can't handle the yes or no. I can't
imagine
because I will be genuinely cut.
Yeah.
And I know you will be too.
Maybe we should have a generic, gamesman that will monitor the scores and don't tell us the scores, but maybe just inform us that, maybe a live reveal would be in order.
We'll just get not a gender reveal, but a score reveal. Watto, pop the balloon. Oh, Langer's won.
Shorty, you lost.
We'll see how we go.
It's really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it is. But we might take a couple of shots or something and chuck them on the end of the video, maybe with the trophy. Because it's a solid trophy. Might run the names over it.
Have to get used
there's
to
a bit of history
on my shelf there.
The idea was that we would all kind of pitch in for a trophy for the winner, like a $30 one.
Yep.
Didn't quite come through.
Yourself.
I only gave Dan one once.
The trophy.
No, like his own one.
Oh.
That bad boy.
Yeah, I think that's the better.
Yeah, that is.
To have your name on it. You don't need to have possession of it. But
well, I would trust you with the possession of it. Some people, with all due respect to all league members, I don't know everyone. I don't know everyone.
A few parties that happen and it might go missing. It might be desecrated or something like that. But yes, certainly.
It's prestigious.
It's prestigious. It carries a lot of weight, even though it's only worth probably $40.
I paid $52 for that, bro.
Okay.
$7
plus engraving costs.
$7 per engraving. I guess we're going to wrap it up. I was kind of waiting for you to wrap it up because normally when we're in here, we're filming AFL Unlimited podcast. Check it out if you like.
Absolutely.
I only chip in every now and then. Now
it's a team effort, but you're doing the Brett Phillips late night call. Send in the audio, but obviously anyone who's watching, get around the podcast as well, and AFL Unlimited on Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify, and all the other mediums. But we'll probably have another video or something, or you'll probably have another video or something
if we're still mates.
If my ass hasn't been burnt down, but good luck.
All the best.
Thank you.
Go well.
Thanks. I'll just press record.
Here it is! A lot of people have been trying to do the Blue Steel.